live on Facebook at Pan-African Television, live on YouTube at Pan-African Television, as well as 48 African countries. You can join in the conversation by sending in your views, comments, and contributions on our WhatsApp text line. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Don't forget to leave your suggestions, questions, and contributions on our WhatsApp text line. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Tonight, on the Prime Point, we are looking at a litany of issues. And what are these issues we shall be looking at on the show? Police arrest woman over alleged threats against President Mahama in a viral TikTok video. We'll be looking at that. Now, former Attorney General Godfrey Adame condemns Abronya DC's detention after High Court grants bail. You do know that yesterday we brought you excerpts of a press conference held by the minority, led by the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, in Parliament. He made certain profound statements against the decision by the judge to detain Abronye until, the final determination of the matter. Before I introduce my guest for tonight's discussion, let's watch excerpts of that video. I'll come back, introduce my guests for the discussion to start. We'll be right back.
Might be released from BNI custody immediately. His detention is constitutionally indefensible and must end today. Parliament's Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee shall, upon assumption of Parliament, be made through an application to summon the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of BNI, to publicly account for every decision taken in this matter. The Chief Justice is not also above the law. Parliament will use every law under its command to summon the Chief Justice. That judge has no respect for his own judicial oath. I don't think he read the law. That Circuit Court 9 judge, I have no respect for him. For a judge to say that he's remanding Abroye into BNI custody until the case is finally determined, such a judge can never have my respect. I pray that he summons me for contempt. I will continue to disrespect him until he upholds the law. When the court came to repeal the criminal libel law, the then NDC chairman, Obed Yawasamwa, who had also served as Attorney General under Rawlings government, declared publicly that the law could be repealed over his dead body. That is the NDC's historic relationship with free speech. That is the tradition President Mahama now chooses to continue. The MPP abolished the law that the NDC swore to keep. And now the NDC is quietly rebuilding what the NPP tore down. Now the Mahama administration, unable to openly reverse that landmark reform without international condemnation, has chosen a more cunning path. Rather than restore criminal libel by name, it is reconstructing the criminal libel regime in practice. So far, we shame or on the New Patriotic Party, Amayoko, Yazi, Enibri, and Aroho, and Yamunisha and the President. Yasam already there. Sabio say Obri Yazibia on Fata. I am party in Fordo the Sebe.
Right, so that was the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin. You've listened to the statement that he made in that presser. I've been joined in the studio by a very good friend and a brother of mine, Era Adams Karim. He's a member of the NDC communications team. My brother, would need your support, in the nearest future. And so before we end the show, I'll tell you the reason why he would need your support, especially members and delegates in the National Democratic Congress. Era, thank you so much for joining me tonight. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you, Justice. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Very well. We met yesterday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you had to leave before time.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. Charlie, pressure.
Very well. So we're also expecting Mr. Solomon Osu, who is Communications Director for the United Party. As and when he joins us, he will be part of the panel. But before we start the discussion, I would want to greet a very good friend of mine in person of Harriet Ansoma Anson. She's watching us, and I would want you to say hi to my friend for me.
Okay. Hi, Harriet.
Yes.
Justice's friend. Yes. Greetings.
Right. One day I'll let you see Harriet. Harriet is a very good friend of mine.
Absolutely.
Harriet, thank you so much for patronizing us tonight. I'm so grateful that you're behind your TV set watching tonight's edition of the program. But why are you effecting certain arrests that have been termed as unnecessary as a way of gagging free speech in the country? Is free speech under siege or under attack, in this country?
Justice, thank you very much. Once again, good evening to you. Good evening to our cherished viewers out there. Good evening to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, of course, who will be kickstarting his Resetting Ghana tour of the Savannah region starting tomorrow, the 22nd, up until the 23rd of this month of May 2026. In fact, so many amazing things will happen in the Savannah region over the next couple of days. Lots of sword cuttings and all of that would take place in the Savannah region when His Excellency the President goes to partake in the Resetting Ghana tour.
Right.
Because he's already done quite a number of regions, and it's been fantastic every region that he goes to. One thing that stands out for me as far as the Resetting Ghana tour is concerned is the town hall meetings that they hold, and usually the President invites some key ministers who are handling some very key sectors of the economy, like health, like like education, like energy, gender, and all of that, just to come and give an account of all of the things that they have been doing, particularly for the region in question since they assumed office. And then, of course, after that, the people have an opportunity to ask questions to the President directly or to any of the ministers present for them to answer. And so that's going to be happening in the Savannah region.
Right.
And basically, what that tells you is that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, and the NDC government is a government that's very focused on delivering on the mandate that the good people of Ghana have given them. And when I talk about delivering on the mandate, I mean the reset agenda. Okay? One thing that's paramount in every reset, Justice, is accountability. And I remember vividly when His Excellency the President, then candidate Mahama, was campaigning, he made mention of the fact that he was going to run, an accountable, government, a government that's going to prioritize accountability. Accountability in this sense means that when you say things you're not supposed to say, or when you say things that you choose to say, and you're called to come and answer questions, you must be accountable. That is part of the reset. And so I do not.
So the arrests are part of the reset agenda by this government.
I'm building. I'm building a point.
You can go ahead.
I'm building a point. I'm saying that accountability, is part of the reset. That we must be accountable to ourselves first, and accountable to the people of this country. And so individually you must be accountable. And so if you come and sit on set, Justice, and you say things, you are invited to come and explain the things that you have said. You must be accountable. Is that not the case?
Very well.
You should be able to explain and inform what inspired the things that you said. Where's the evidence you know, that confirms the things that you said.
Okay.
Where does that evidence come from? Are there other people complicit in it? Did you get the information from somebody else, or you did your own investigation and blah blah blah? You must be able to adduce all of these evidences.
But is that what is happening in these arrests?
But is that not what is happening? That
these
somebody
people are not invited. These people are arrested in a Rambo style.
When you say Rambo style,
I'll give you.
When you say Rambo, when you say Rambo style, when you say Rambo style, what is Rambo style?
To arrest somebody as if the person was a hardened criminal.
No, when you say, you see, there are ways that arrests are carried. Okay, there are standard procedures. Okay, that you know that the security agencies they have standard procedures.
Okay,
they have ways that they go about the arrest and all of that. And so maybe you cannot, you know, just describe it as Rambo style and say it is Rambo style, so the person has been picked up Rambo style. No, but I want us to get into the meat of the issues.
Let's get into it.
And understand.
Let's get into why you are gagging free speech, why you wouldn't want people to speak their minds on social media.
I don't think anybody is gagging free speech in this country. If not for anything, in the last couple weeks, we've seen the press, free press index, shoot up Ghana's position change quite favorably as compared to
I think we are now 39.
As compared to what we witnessed under the Eswal administration.
As compared to the 50-something that we were at those times.
You understand? Where journalists could not even stay in this country. Some of them had to flee. You can talk about the likes of the Manasseh Azura Wunis, who had to flee this country because they could not express themselves freely without having to be attacked.
Okay.
Right? So that's one side of it. And so I don't think anybody in this country, especially not the president, is gagging anybody or preventing anybody from speaking. If not for anything, our president is someone who believes in free speech. He's a champion for free speech. And I'm sure that there's so many times you have watched videos of him even telling his security detail, okay, not to harass or push journalists or media people or reporters, but to allow them to work freely.
Okay.
You want to tell me that this is somebody who gags people? We don't have time for that.
Then
the government is focused on delivering on the mandate that it has been given.
Okay.
And that is exactly what the government is going to do. You see, what the MPP and their cronies and their friends and what have you are engaged. You see, when somebody is uncomfortable, okay, about the things you're doing, and they realize that if they do not find a way to distract you, you may end up spoiling their reggae with your blues. Okay. These are some of the things that they engage in. But like I mentioned, what we are witnessing today is not a matter of free speech. Okay. I want to state that clearly. I want to state that categorically.
What exactly are we
witnessing today is it is a criminal law matter. Okay? And they themselves in the MPP, they know it. Okay. Now let's get this straight. Abronya DC, who is the subject of the conversation we are having, okay? Abronya is not being prosecuted by the court for criticizing the government. I hope you get my point. And I want us to understand that that is why the framers of our constitution, when they're framing it, decided to separate executive from legislature from judiciary.
Okay.
And so that all of these agencies or all of these arms would be able to work independently. What is happening to Abronya today is not a free speech matter. It is a criminal law matter. And we are going to get into what the Constitution says. Now, we all know, per the video we have watched of Abronya, and I don't know if you have that video, you want to show it to our audience.
Well, I would...
You can ask your producers to look for that video.
And then, of course, we play...
But you have a young man, young man, you count as youth, even though he has grey hair.
Okay.
And you see, every day I say that being old age is not synonymous to wisdom. It's the same way grey hair is not synonymous to wisdom.
I see.
But, you see, put a camera before himself and a microphone and attack a judge, okay, of a Superior Court of Judicature in this country. I mean, where is it done? Who does that?
Okay.
You get it? And so if you choose to go ahead and scandalize the court, because I'm not going to say criticize, when you attack verbally, okay, a justice of the court, you're basically scandalizing the court.
Okay.
And so the laws will take its course because the law makes it clear
But this
that
is not the first time we are seeing an attack on the
citizen
court.
who threatens or scandalizes a judge, the law will take its course. You read Article 125 of the Constitution, and it talks about the independence of the judiciary,
Right.
and it makes the judiciary sacred. You don't sit on TV or put a camera on yourself and pass all kinds of comments and say that the judge in question, in partnership with the police, in partnership with the executive, you know, have decided to intentionally prosecute and persecute people because they criticize the government. You see, there can never be true democracy without criticism.
But Karim, let me ask you this question. Certain people made similar statements. Certain people whose activities benefit the National Democratic Congress.
Which people
made similar statements?
Which people?
I wouldn't want to mention any name.
What statements?
But made similar statements against judges in this country. And the next thing we saw.
Which people? What statements?
The next thing we saw was that such persons were given heavy security to the same courts to overturn a decision that was made by the court.
Heavy security.
So today,
in this country, when? In opposition.
If you are here,
in opposition.
So when you were in opposition,
in Akufo-Addo's time.
Wait. You see, I just do not want to mention it.
Okay.
But under your watch, what is more?
That is, we've been in office for just.
Wait, when you were in opposition. We heard certain statements that certain people made against the judiciary.
What statements?
Those could equally be termed as attacks on the judiciary.
What statements?
Okay.
Which people? Which people?
What
statements?
For some notable NDC members to refer to some judges as unanimous FC.
Okay.
How would you describe that? Was it not an attack?
No, but at the end of the day, the decisions that they made, were those decisions not unanimous?
They were unanimous.
Exactly. So,
but they were decisions premised on the law.
But at the end of the day, were those decisions unanimous or not?
But what is happening to
Abronia today? Okay, are they not decisions made based on the law? The judgments that the judges give, are they not decisions made based on the law? They are made based on the law. It is legality. The law says A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. What from Mramranisi saying it here? Intino Emrabedu. It's basically what we are seeing. If anybody says that the Supreme Court has a unanimous FC, have majority of their decisions not unanimous, and so how is that scandalous? How do you describe that as an attack on the judiciary? Okay, you see, there are two. Let's not compare lizards to alligators.
Let's look at the intention behind it.
That's what I'm saying. Let's not compare lizards.
They were comments made in bad faith.
Let's not compare.
They were comments made to, as it were,
you see,
say that the judiciary, the judges at the time were in bed with the government in power. You made certain statements to an extent that because most of them were appointed by the previous government, they were doing the bidding of the previous government. How is Abronye's conduct different from those statements that were made when you were in opposition?
I'm telling you, we're dealing with two separate. We're dealing with two separate issues. Okay, and let's stick to those. That's what I'm saying. That let's not compare lizards to alligators.
Okay, let's go ahead.
When I say that the Supreme Court has a unanimous FC, majority of their decisions were unanimous. So today we can still go back to those decisions. This is different.
When you were in, did you not accuse the judiciary of being in bed with the previous government?
I did not accuse
the judiciary. But some members of your party did.
No, we will not do that.
What really?
We will not do that. You see, that's what I'm telling. You see, there are two separate issues we are dealing with, and I'm saying that what you are talking about is way different from one individual sitting down, like the way I've come to sit here this evening.
Okay.
And I tell you that the police, okay, that the executive, and that the Adenta Court 9, Circuit Court 9, was that not the name of the court you mentioned?
Yes, Circuit Court 9.
So you see, we're talking specifics. And he kept on repeating that this is what they do. That this is what they do, and this is what they do, and they say, you see, what we must understand is that the constitution that we have in this country, that 1992 constitution that the MPP ran away from, okay, it is a constitution that forever protects free speech.
Okay.
It is a constitution that prioritizes free speech. But what we must understand is that that constitution does not protect threats against judges or threats to make this country ungovernable. And the MPP know that, and we must learn the difference.
What were the threats issued by Abronia?
Yeah?
What did Abronya say that was threatening?
That's why let your producers. I don't want to be the one to repeat.
No,
those
no, but
let your producers.
until we get it.
Yeah, so let your producers. No, I won't be. I won't be. I won't be the one to repeat those things. But you see, let your producers find that video and let's play back the videos. All of the evidences are there in that video.
Okay.
Then we move beyond that. Okay. And we want the law to take its course. We want the law to do the work that it's supposed to do. And you have key figures within the MPP come out to say that they're going to make the country ungovernable. You find another one says that if any member of the New Patriotic Party is arrested again, they will burn down the headquarters of the...
But Abronya's case is that one out of many that you...
I will give you several cases of what we witnessed in the last 8 years. Don't worry, calm down. Calm your horses. Then you have another person come to say that they will burn down the headquarters of the NDC if any MPP member is arrested again. Then you find a minority leader who is a lawyer, who's been in parliament for several years, who should know better, address a press conference and scandalize the courts as well. And even go ahead to say that he has no respect whatsoever for the judge. But no. You see, and you go ahead and say that he has no respect whatsoever.
What was the reason why he made that statement?
I'm coming. You say that you have no. Why did I even write that nonsense? You say you have no respect whatsoever for the judge, and I find it very unfortunate. Look, the reason why the framers of our constitution decided to separate the various arms, of government, is so that when there are issues, we will use those systems that have been created within the constitution to address those issues. Afenyo Markin of all people should know that where he mentioned those things was not the right avenue to address the issues. If you have issues with the judgment that has been, I mean, the constitution clearly makes room for that sort of inter-arm engagement to happen. So what wrong is it if the legislature decides that we want to engage the judiciary and understand what informed some of these things? But you don't stand at a press conference where you're addressing party people, where everybody else is watching you, and you utter some of those words. I'm sure when he goes back home and he thinks about it, he realizes he made a mistake. Only if he would choose to apologize, well, that's onto him. But that's a conversation.
So if a decision, by a judge contravenes which
decision of the judge
contravenes? That he cannot be criticized.
Which decision of the judge contravenes the law?
According to Afenyo Markin, the judge in his reasoning indicated that he was going to detain or remand Abronya until the determination of the matter, because if he was allowed to go, he would commit, or he would have committed another offense.
Absolutely. But you don't think that...
How does this find expression in law?
But you see, what you are not getting is that sometimes, most often than not, what we say is that some of the things are offshoots of common sense. Now let's get this straight, and I'm going to explain. I'm going to make the point I'm going to make the point very easy and simple for you. Abronya has uttered so many things. Now, whether we like it or not, he's made so many enemies. You don't think that it's in his best interest for them to have kept him there, to protect him from some of the people who would have attacked him? You don't think that it could? I'm asking you. You don't think that that is a just cause? Beyond that. I'm giving you reason number one. Reason number two. Let's also not forget that Abronya is not a first-time offender. He's already gone to court for the same issues. For spewing a lot of issues, and he was picked up, granted bail. Somebody who is on bail, what's up the tank?
It doesn't mean that he should be denied bail.
You see, we are not getting the point. And the judge clearly says that I don't want to let you go, because when you go, a lot of the things that you see, they have the tendency to cause chaos. They have the tendency to cause unrest, and we must not.
So Abronya should be kept.
He should stay
on remand until the determination of a matter. So if it will take the court 3 years to determine the matter, Abronya should be on remand for 3 years. That's what they are saying.
Abronya has been freed today.
Yes.
Abronya has gone home. He's going to relax. Of course, the matter would continue. But you see, I want to. You let me leave that. I won't touch on that.
Very well.
But you see, Justice, what I want us to understand is that, you see, the MPP is not bigger than Ghana.
That is true. That's a fact.
We must get that straight. That the MPP, the New Patriotic Party, is not bigger than Ghana. And so why is it that any time they get into a position, they want to cause turmoil? Why is it that anytime they are in opposition, they want to make things difficult for the government in power? Why is it that they cannot understand that they were voted out based on their incompetence? That they failed, they became excessively pompous, they became arrogant, they bullied everybody in this country.
They did?
Of course they did. Me, I'm a victim of their bully.
Okay.
You understand?
What really happened?
I will get into that conversation.
Okay.
But you see, let's go and look at some of the cardinal crimes of the MPP. One, when they won power in 2016 and they were sworn into office in 2017, one of their very first crime, which they did absolutely nothing about, was to gather their boys to go and scandalize the courts. If you remember. You remember, I went to attack a pregnant judge to free some of their members.
I recall.
They did that. What happened to those people? Absolutely nothing.
No, something happened.
No, what happened?
What happened? They were tried and they were fined.
Absolutely. Oh, my brother, what are you talking? Somebody goes to scandalize a court. Somebody goes to scandalize a court, attack a female judge physically, and you come and you're giving me excuse that they were fined and they were fined. We move away from that. In this very country, these same people mobilized themselves, walked into a TV studio to go and attack an on-air person who was engaging in a discussion on TV.
Right.
At the end of the day, what happened to them? Absolutely nothing. Let's move on away from that. Ayawaso West Wagon. By election.
Okay.
These very people mobilized their hooligans. They beat up, a sitting member of parliament. They abused other people. A committee was set up to look into the matter. At the end of the day, what happened? The key perpetrators of these offenses were given promotions. These are the people who want to talk to us about free speech. These are the people who want to talk to us about tensions in the country. Please, the only people creating tensions in this country are the members of the MPP. I'm not done.
Okay.
We move on beyond that. When they organized the what's it called? The Stop Galamsey protests. These very people, these were young Ghanaians from all walks of life, decided to mobilize themselves and demonstrate about a canker, something that they had promised they were going to put their presidency on.
If my technical crew, are there, they should ensure that they come to the studio right away because the other guest is in the studio so that he's mic'd. You can go ahead.
As I was saying, young Ghanaians who are concerned about what's happening in the country, particularly with our water bodies and our forest reserves, decided to mobilize themselves and go and demonstrate. These young people were arrested. They were remanded in police custody, and their only crime was that they demonstrated.
Okay.
We're in this country. When one dawn, people from nowhere broke into Zongo. I almost said Zongo ideas. Bongo ideas. House. Picked up Bongo ideas. Did all manner of things to him. And we looked for Bongo ideas. We couldn't find him anywhere until he was brought back home.
Okay.
Or he found his way home.
Right.
What has happened till today? We do not know what happened to those people. My brother, me, I went for a protest in 2023. 3 days after that protest, I lost my job. And you want to tell me that these are the people who should be preaching to us about free speech? These are the people who should be preaching to us about freedom of expression? Where they themselves were never able to tolerate free speech in this country. They were never able to tolerate freedom of expression in this country. And you saw it. You saw it in their demeanor. You saw it in their attitude. You saw it in the way they did things. So we must understand that, look, there are laws in this country that govern us. And the laws must work. When people break the laws, we won't say that because they are political actors. We won't say that because they have some sort of political influence. We would want to take advantage of that and use that to ensure the laws do not work. The laws of this country would work. Abronia is no special human being. Nobody is bigger than the law of this country. Nobody is bigger than the country itself. Not the MPP.
Right.
Not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Not Afenyo Market. Not Abronia DC. And so if the law must take its course, the law will take its course. And just as I mentioned, I said that the Constitution of Ghana will forever respect and protect freedom of expression and free speech. What the Constitution will not protect is threats to judiciary. What the Constitution will not protect is anybody who chooses to scandalize the courts. The laws will deal with you. And we must understand that you're right. It ends where somebody else own starts.
Fair.
So Abronia must get that. He's no special human being.
Right. I'll come back to you on the other persons who have been arrested, by this government. You've apart from Abronye.
No, you see, when you say this government, no, when you say this government, I beg.
Well, I'll come. Don't worry. Who have been arrested by?
The executive does not arrest.
Okay.
The executive does not arrest. The interior minister does not arrest.
I'll come back to you.
See, it is the security agencies that are doing their job,
to you on that.
and these are independent agencies.
No problem. I'll come back to you on that. But we've been joined in the studio by Mr. Solomon Osu, a brother and a friend. He's the communications director for the United Party. Mr. Osu, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's very nice, very beautiful.
Nashiru gave it to me. Thank you, Nashiru, wherever you had it from. And may you be replenished in thousandfolds.
So, the opposition, although you're also an opposition party, but the opposition New Patriotic Party has been talking about, you know, free speech being under attack. What they mean is that since this government assumed office, MPP members have been targeted on social media, and they are arresting them for what they describe as an unnecessary, you know, arrest. They feel that they are being intimidated, and that the next arrest that will come from, you know, government, they would make the country ungovernable. Just this evening, we are told that police has arrested a woman over alleged threats against President John Dramani Mahama in a viral TikTok video. And this woman we are talking about happens to be a member of a New Patriotic Party. Do you agree with the current arrests? And do you also agree with the MPP that this government is gagging free speech? They are intimidating opponents who would want to, you know, forcefully put their arguments across on social media.
To the best of my knowledge, let me greet your cherished viewers and my brother Adams. To the best of my knowledge, the MPP have more than 1,000 social media users, and we are told that 3 people have been arrested in the recent past.
More than 3 people.
How many of them?
The last time I checked, it's more than 5.
More than 5?
Yes.
I heard someone saying 12. Let's even grant it that is 20 have been arrested. Now, some of the arrests I personally do not agree.
Okay.
For instance, when someone go and make a caricature of someone who is a gay, for me, the police is just making a hero out of nobody.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to dignify such personalities. But when we are governed by rules of law, we are the law is what governs all of us. The Constitution is what governs all of us. So when you go and make or conduct yourself in a manner that is, or that falls foul against the laws of the land, you don't expect anybody to sympathize with you. You understand? You cannot be hiding behind the fact that you belong to a political party. Because if you belong to a political party, you are not above the laws of the land. Just as if you were to go to any of the police stations, you will see in the cells a lot of people in there. Must they also hide under the banner of being a political party? Or why is it that these political party activists are not fighting for them to get out? Because they believe that they have committed some levels of crime. And that their crimes are thoroughly being investigated. The beauty of it is that the police is also regulated by rules of engagement. They have laws. That is why they cannot keep you for more than 48 hours. They have to present you before a court of competent jurisdiction so that you are granted bail. You have your lawyers. If there is anything untoward, then they deal with it. But the last thing that must agitate your mind is to allow yourself to be swindled by this group of unserious cabals called the New Patriotic Party to set the agenda for you and I. The party is in disarray.
MPP is in disarray.
It's in total comatose. The party is in comatose. And so they have realized that currently the sort of economic indicators are better than what they left. And so if they were to go on the economic front, it will not help the agenda. You get my point?
Right.
It is only the United Party that can take this administration on. And we will take them on at the right time. So what is the MPP doing? Let's create a situation where it will seem as though there is political tension. And they have their surrogates. This morning had a course of questioning the motive behind the statement issued by the Peace Council, the National Peace Council. Justice, do you believe in your heart of heart that there is political tension in this country?
Not at all.
So why would the Peace Council issue a statement and a general statement cautioning all the sides, when as a matter of fact you know those that are trying to create the tension? You see, peace is not absence of war. And if you really want to be seen as someone who is peaceful, one of your cardinal principles must be speaking truth. So if you know that Abronye is misbehaving, if you know that Afenyo Markins is misbehaving, if you know that young man, what's the name? Salam what?
Salam Mustafa.
No, if he said we should run, can he run? I don't know why the least opportunity he wants to create the impression that he's tough. Young man, they gave you a position to lead a youth wing of a party that was in government. You took them to opposition. Instead of taking a deep breath and showing remorse, look at what he's doing. So you, the National Peace Council, your statement must capture him. Then we know that you really mean business. But to come and issue a statement and generalize it that all sides must become here, that is for me, you must throw it into the dustbin. You understand?
We must throw the statement emanating from Peace Council into the dustbin.
Yeah, chaotic council, not Peace Council. If you don't want to speak the truth, look, one of your members, if you were to take the Peace Council Act 818, the composition includes the Christian Council of Ghana. You understand?
Right.
The Action Chapel Church, headed by Archbishop Duncan Williams, is a member of that church. That's the case.
True.
You were in this country when Abronye called Archbishop Duncan Williams a thief, called him a foolish man, described him all manner of unprintable words. Why did the Peace Council not issue a statement to that effect? You were in this country when Abronye called the current president, Assistant President Abu Abiba. You listen to that tape. He has insulted virtually everybody.
Accused him of incest.
Incest, exactly.
Sleeping with his own daughter.
Can you imagine? We had the Peace Council pretend as though nothing of that sort happened. The new patriotic party that he is working on behalf, the flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that Abronye is working on behalf. When last did you hear the former vice president and the current flag bearer of the MPP openly distance himself from what Abronye is saying or doing? It means he has the full backing of the flag bearer.
Right.
So they are insulting. Now, if you are going to insult and the law is taking you on, what I expect is that you get your lawyers, if anything untoward has happened to you, to use the processes to deal with it.
Okay. But Mansolo,
yes.
Can you hold on for me?
No problem.
For just about 10 minutes. I'm going for a break. When we come back, you continue. Can you hold the thought?
By the time you come, by the time, are we not closing at 10 o'clock?
We are closing at 10:30.
Hey!
Yes. Viewers, we are going for a short break. We'll be right back.
Mr. Kwame Bafo Abronye must be released from BNI custody immediately. His detention is constitutionally indefensible and must end today. Parliament's Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee shall, upon assumption of Parliament, be made through an application to summon the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of BNI to publicly account for every decision taken in this matter. The Chief Justice is not also above the law. Parliament will use every law under its command to summon the Chief Justice. That judge has no respect for his own judicial oath. I don't think he read the law. That circuit court 9J, I have no respect for him. For a judge to say that he's remanding Abroye into BNI custody until the case is finally determined, such a judge can never have my respect. I bet that he summons me for contempt.
Yes.
I will continue to disrespect him until he upholds the law. When the court came to repeal the criminal libel law, the then NDC chairman, Obed Yawasamwa, who had also served as Attorney General under Rawlings government, declared publicly that the law could be repealed over his dead body. That is the NDC's historic relationship with free speech. That is the tradition President Mahama now chooses to continue. The MPP abolished the law that the NDC swore to keep. And now the NDC is quietly rebuilding what the NPP tore down. Now the Mahama administration, unable to openly reverse that landmark reform without international condemnation, has chosen a more cunning path. Rather than restore criminal libel by name, it is reconstructing the criminal libel regime in practice.
So far, we shame or on the Abaka one inside. Oh, yeah, New Patriotic Party, Amayoko. Yes, any bill and our whole and you want to share in the proceeding. Yes, some already there. Sabio say Obri Yazibia on fata. Iron party in Fordo de Sebe Obin Kesha Roba and on Kessenchobi. No one Wagan and Bremen so big a Casabina on some fata was not from Braquano. Sebe, my consuci na cano. So big Cassachobi, it will keep Memikema, one bon quail, one fun and cocoa. Zaye when you there NDC for since I walk back Benum. The man kwe do bo na wodi eye dwuma Sebe obi kasa wa MPP na wonyimdo ohon wana na was ihunhun. Yani won kase za man da kosiri ye hye wa han de. Yan bono regional chairman a wo friend abronye. A police force okakasa eti a judge bi. Na kasa okakasa eti no was in the court. Oyahwe wako ogo du court no judge a otne gum na asam ye de se woma abronye bela anhwa na wakakasa bio inti was ordinary to fiase ordinary to prison until the wobezi asam ni wi na won bremi no se won bu fo a intu mon ko wi a fiase na judge no asam no renke wi nanso etikan ezimpa na akoto remand ona medikan kade oya ye Supreme Court oye onyimnyamfo Martin Pebu oye lawyer mbribi abasen kodam nsami wo mabail wo ba mabail onunti ozasam ko free court ama Supreme Court ka say kade debi bail ze unya de oye de was manyimpa osande until the nyimpa no wo bezi na asem ewewe bu no fon intum nka de etene court to fiaze na za punish inti bail asem zo ya za wa kan wasem da wo court ibio ye wo offenses bi obaka de odama bonize nanu yesho ene ye wo za broni kade mizemina chede oye bibi kitikiti bia onyaza oye hu na za wose abronya akoye okadam mizemina ayi imbrano ho it is sadam mpo a ebazi ntino de judge kade ozno court to prison ozi kan kade ozno konsewo asana ibi o kade ozno ko ayi BNI Fitida omani ruling there was no court to remand. None court order mpo onto me signing. Meanwhile, court dem one on ye manual court or your digital court. Erika Senyano will type into within 5 minutes after proceedings, or there at least clerk and autumn print. Judge, why is serious on Edmund within 5 minutes and or do to can none ruling na or sign as a defeated na nankasan ruling upon signing. It's a question and people fear be saying there. Be a knife. Was it a brown call one channel? Eba krata knows age. Police funusa was it a brown crop be a knife? Eba krata na was the engine do. And now Anuka Kana was a can on unti. Yanka said anyway, I need the Oman Bay Mahama. Yanko now drum in your piano on your second chance. Presidency in your piano on your second chance. Adum keke. Adum keke. Into Oman Bay Mahama. Yes, sir. Aka on Fibe a bien a fan. And as we Juma Abbey. Nyankopona adomo ma woso asom woman for them 8 years no order wa komado iti jewechiye omampai mahama ya sam ni de jewechiye na ochina o fa bibi tuwa ochina bi ni ho a Ghana wo bobo wuzin was akasa na bia na ifo and the judges na police for no and the be a warrior so when you uncle say ni moshia but when you uncle or man pay mahama yemianum so wo NDC mo onye hon daw the ende or MPP ni na ochina wo na no otumfo se embre ni se emimenti twi no mezenye fante emiri kaso Otumfo ose embre eninkaso. Enti yenuanu ma wo parliament. Oya NDC fo. Parliament boy ya woda. Ye bo someone in minority. Ye bo someone BNI Director General. IGP no only Chief Justice. The dam judge na oya damazin yam hwene yen kan asam. Abro nya na asam no je nda wo ho. Ena wona wo invoke dem Section 207 and 208 in the Padia Kawasa. Yes, say any anum NDC for our parliament. One what? Nayam fe ye into ye. Then brother or chinebi a baby back. Not someone's opposition. No what do one as some yaya are to the man. Where two were using Brano. No was a Joan Famuzi. Now so why are you there? Business as usual. Warrior politics into one man and one. Because they have 2 takes. Inyanzi, Yenutum, Yabaka, no was 1 numbers or they win votes. But 1 came with there, so I'm supporting. Na Yentum Yanfanza man 2 year. Ochinebi, na power biaba. Because already they are on their way out. Why won't you? The 2028 will lose. Why won't you? Until him they will lose election 2028. Name there, President Mahama on Babio, or Nejuma Benewi. It is your own interest. The injustice be a imun and then able to tune ye. I'm watching a minister, Neko Wahum Jima. I assured there and brave you a wa over protector. Nasa Wanyana Dama honors a warrow. Yes, yes, my be, yeah, that's it. Mr. Kwame Bafo Abronya might be released from BNI custody immediately. His detention is constitutionally indefensible and must end today. Parliament's Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee shall, upon assumption of Parliament, be made through an application to summon the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of BNI to publicly account for every decision taken in this matter. The Chief Justice is not also above the law. Parliament will use every law under its command to summon the Chief Justice. That judge has no respect for his own judicial oath.
don't think he read the law. That circuit court 9J, I have no respect for him. For a judge to say that he's remanding Abroye into BNI custody until the case is finally determined, such a judge can never have my respect. I pray that he summons me for contempt.
Yes.
I will continue to disrespect him until he upholds the law. When the court came to repeal the criminal libel law, the then NDC chairman, Obed Yawasamwa, who had also served as Attorney General under Rawlings government, declared publicly that the law could be repealed over his dead body. That is the NDC's historic relationship with free speech. That is the tradition President Mahama now chooses to continue. The MPP abolished the law that the NDC swore to keep. And now the NDC is quietly rebuilding what the NPP tore down. Now the Mahama administration, unable to openly reverse that landmark reform without international condemnation, has chosen a more cunning path. Rather than restore criminal libel by name, it is reconstructing the criminal libel regime in practice.
So far, we shame or on the Embry Abaka one inside. Oh, yeah, New Patriotic Party, Amayoko. Yes, the Enibri and our whole and the Emunisha and the President Embry. Yes, I'm already there. Sabio. Se obri yazibia onfata ayen party ni enfodo de sebe obi nkesha horoba ana onkese nchi obi number mo Ghana Bremen so bi kakase bi na onsam fata was not from Brakwando sebe maye constitution aka no so bi kase chi obi iwo kebmemi kedma won bonu kwedu won fa no nkokọ zaye hunyi de NDC fo since I walk back Benum, the man kwedu bo na wodi eye dwuma sebe obi kasa wa MPP na won.
Right, welcome back. You are still watching the Prime Point right here on Pan African Television with me, Justice Appiah. You can join in the conversation by sending in your views, comments, and contributions on our WhatsApp stroke text line. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Tonight, I'm in the studio with Mr. Solomon Owusu, who is a member of the United Party. He's the Director of Communications for the United Party. Also a member of the NDC Communications team in person of Era Karim Adam. They are here with me, and I'll come back to you, Solo. You were on the floor before we went for the break. You can continue.
So like I was saying, if someone is arrested unjustifiably, the person has the right to counsel.
Okay.
And that counsel knows what to do to make sure that his or her rights are not trampled upon. Remember in the case of the Julobi demonstrators, when people were unlawfully arrested, I've heard some commentaries within the system that in the entire 12 years of Nana Akufo-Addo, 8 years of Nana Akufo-Addo, only 12 people were arrested. It's never true. The Julobi demonstration, on a single day, more than 49 people were arrested. So how would anybody miss this? And this must be so fresh in the minds of a lot of people. But you see, when the police arrested them unjustifiably, some of them sued. And only a couple of days, the court actually ruled in their favor. And the police has been asked to pay them, compensate them to the tune of 150,000 Ghana cedis. That's what serious minds do. They could have also resorted to this political gimmick that, oh, this is politically induced, so we will not take the police on. They took the police on. And now the police, whether they like it or not, they have to pay.
Do you agree with the manner in which these arrests are effected?
Current arrests or?
Yes, current ones.
So, I have already told you that some
Yes.
of them I disagree. For instance, those that had to do with this gate and stuff. Someone goes to point to a doom, so I don't support those. In fact, as a matter of fact, the things that they are doing is what wins an election. Those that are thinking that the MPP lost election 2024 because people posted such things on social media, it's not what really got them to lose an election. See, the masses are looking for jobs.
Right.
You and I know the levels of corruption that took place in the last 8 years, of which we have been asking Karim's party to go after them. Because he, not going after them has its own ramifications. You and I know that if you were to pass through the ridge area, the hole is still there. When President Akufo-Addo decided to use $97 million of our tax revenue to go and dig a hole. You did all this in Kontompo in the western region. A woman that gave birth, Minaisi, gave birth to a freshly born baby, sold the child for 300 cedis because of hardship.
Okay.
All these things happened, and it was the reason why the Ghanaian voted against the MPP. It had nothing to do with people posting on social media, whether it was elephant, whether it was a mammal or whatever. So if they think by deploying the same strategy to get them anywhere, that is not the issue. As we speak, the finance minister, the former finance minister of this country has run away as a result of the levels of corruption that took place under his supervision. That is what we are discussing. So, but there are other arrests that are inevitable. If somebody feels strongly about, if the police institution feels strongly about an allegation, they are entitled to arrest. It's the reason why when they arrest you, they cannot be the final arbiter. They also have to take you to a court of competent jurisdiction. Look, we had in the past a whole national security minister, Mr. Kandapa, had the cause to complain that the way and manner the judges were ruling one-sided was not conducive for a well-coordinated national security. I had a cause to disagree with Kandapa when he said that. In fact, I did that on TV XYZ then. That look, if someone is wrong, the person is wrong. So the mere fact that you are in a democracy, do you want, and you have a very bad case, on the altar of democracy, whether your case is bad or not, we must balance it. I said no. You understand?
Yes.
But the first person that decided to call the Supreme Court under the erstwhile administration, unanimous FC, was Kandapa. So if your national security minister himself, though I disagree, and I was in the MPP then, referred to your Supreme Court as unanimous FC, then you can imagine the levels of justice that human beings were taken through. And it explains some of the arrests that took place in the past. Remember what happened to Mensa Thompson of Asepa? You have hosted him a couple of times here.
Yes, that's true.
He posted on his Facebook wall that President Akufo-Addo's daughters had flown the presidential jet to the UK to go and only shop. By virtue of that, he was arrested and had to be granted bail. Went through the same issue like, what do you call it, Abronye. Did we have the Peace Council issue a statement to that effect?
Was Mensa Thompson arrested like a hardened criminal?
No, any arrest is arrest. There are no seven. When they get you, they put what do you call it?
Handcuff.
Handcuff. That's it.
But you recall Sir Obama, whose home was ransacked. His door was broken. They broke into his house just to arrest him in that fashion. I mean, those things should not be.
I disagree with that arrest as well. Okay. I mean, I didn't see the need. I mean, he made Sir Obama become an instant hero when there was none. You understand? And you see, the point is that the reason why I don't want us to link it to politics is that when we do that, it makes the police administration get away with a lot of impunity. And And it's the reason why you must focus on the institution called the police administration.
Right.
You understand? And it's the reason why some of us still believe that former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Wamia did not do a good job. Remember, he was the chair of the Police Council for 8 years.
Yeah.
And as the chair of the Police Council for 8 years, he was, together with his team, were responsible for providing direction and reforms to the police institution. So what sort of reforms did he carry out whilst he was the chair of the police, for which reason the police became better, and after 60 months is now wobbling? The police service that he left is the police service that is working today. It means he left a very weak police service. He left an unreformed police service, hence this behavior. So we must go take out the politics, go to the police institution and ask them, ever since these arrests took place, have you as media houses gotten the police to even give their side of the story? How we are doing is we are doing political football. When you have been told by Nana Akufo-Addo in 2024 that he does not have the power to arrest anybody, and that people that are arrested are only arrested by virtue of their utterances. You were told that. You were told by Afenyo in 2024 that, what's the name? There is no way, never must it be said that an executive arm of government can influence any judicial arm or any judge. So we know this. So why is it that apostles of people that were claiming that a president cannot arrest, people that were claiming, leading figures that were claiming that the judiciary can never be influenced by the executive, now turning around and saying the opposite things that they said in the past? It worries me a lot. When they do that, what it means is that politicians are not to be trusted. You say something yesterday, the very same issue confronts you, and you say another thing. That is not good enough. So I believe that it is a police institution that we must go after them to explain to us some of the issues. But that does not mean that it guarantees anybody any license to be doing anything anyhow. If I were the police, I would have picked Salam Mustafa.
For saying that they will make the
Absolutely.
They will weaponize themselves to make the country.
You pick him.
How is that an offensive statement?
Hey, intention to commit crime is a crime in itself. You want to commit a crime. You understand? You have that intention. Why must we allow you to go and commit that crime? And when you go and arrest such a boy or such a guy, then you go around and say it was just a political talk. What is this?
Right.
But you see, when you narrow all these discussions to the party itself, with this one, we have been discussing at the what do you call it, the state level, the police level. We are talking about the fact that state institutions are being used to gag free speech. That was the case. Now, take the police out and take the put the NPP as a political party there, and let's go into their actions and inactions, whether their actions in the past has even promoted free speech. And I can use your station here. When we say you are promoting free speech, it's not only about being arrested. It's about even allowing your party to take part in various discussions on various platforms. How many times has your station not been boycotted by New Patriotic Party?
This particular platform ahead of the election was boycotted. Even today, I called Awar Mohammed, who promised to be on the show tonight. He never answered any of my calls.
I mean, on an occasion, in one of such occasions that your station itself was going to carry live their, what's the name, their annual delegates conference or so.
Yes.
That you had willingly gone there to carry. Were you not sacked?
We're sacked.
Was it promoting free speech? I mean, sometimes I don't get them, and they have some sort of entitlement. But I don't blame them. I blame you, the media houses, because there are more than 20 political parties in this country. You shudder to call the rest. You only invite MPP and NDC. So why wouldn't they bluff?
It's not all of us.
I can't take you out.
Members of a movement, the United Party, have been consistently featured on this platform.
Absolutely, that way you are right.
PNC members have been consistently featured on this
platform.
platform.
So you are exonerating yourself.
CPP members have been consistently featured on this platform.
I concede.
And then NDC and MPP.
So what I'm saying is that
you're right.
Because of the way and manner they have been pampered, and it's not only this media house. Until recently, they have boycotted Media General.
Yes,
TV3,
that is true.
and all the other platforms. In fact, during the press conference, they threw away the microphone of TV3, and they warned that should any of their journalists make any attempt to attend any of their functions, that person will be putting him or herself in a harm's way. You heard it.
Right.
Was it not against free speech? In my lifetime, I have never been in a studio to witness a co-panelist slapping another panelist. It happened to Sami Devi. You remember when Nana B slapped him?
At Asempa Studios.
What were they trying to achieve? He and then Collins Amankwa. All that they were trying to achieve was to gag Sami Devi. Because the reason for doing that was that Sami Devi was making certain utterances that was impugning the integrity of Nana Akufo-Addo. We live in this. We live with this kind of behavior. Look, people are doing their usual programs on UTV. They said A+, the way and manner he as it were conducts his business was not favoring the New Patriotic Party. The youth wing of the New Patriotic Party entered the studio to also go and take part in the live show. What were they trying to do? Were they not trying to gag? That is the character of the party. And it's not only peculiar to their men. The women also took a cue from it. Hadia Fati, an elderly woman, was bold enough to slap Sechua of multimedia. That she had to be fined.
Sechua is on with Angel, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
She slapped her. We lived with it. It was not only media houses that suffered. Even the judiciary, for attempting to adjudicate on the matter, a wing of the New Patriotic Party, the Delta Force, forcibly entered a court, a second court in Kumasi, to want to go and attack Mary Senjire, a judge. The woman had to run for her life. You were in this country.
Yes, of course I was.
So why are you making it look as though the MPP, they are so a special breed of people? You are pampering their seriousness.
Are we pampering them?
You are pampering them. You are pampering them. Meanwhile, the party is in comatose. I told you that only a couple of days, Anya, slaps flying everywhere. If you went to Nkoko, people were just being maimed, chopped. Go to the Roman Catholic hospital in Nkoko, they are all still there. Just this afternoon, Shama in the Western region, go and see the slaps. I'll send you some of the videos to be playing for your viewers to have a look at it.
Right.
So, when we are discussing these matters, I was thinking that the moment the topic came up, the New Patriotic Party would have been the party to tell all of you in the media house that, look, as for this topic about guarding freedom of speech here and there, we don't qualify to make an input. So we will sit back. Next week, when you have a different topic, then you invite us. Why would you allow them to come and take part? Look, the New Patriotic Party itself.
Okay.
On the 30th of June 2025. This is Justin Kodua from Paul.
Yes.
Issuing a press release. And this is the title. New Patriotic Party disassociates itself from the comments made by Bono Regional Chairman against Archbishop Duncan Williams on his Ohia TV.
Right.
A whole political party, they have to distance themselves from an individual.
The same individual.
The same individual that has a problem.
The question.
The party was running away from him.
So why now?
You get my point. One person, they have sat down for the person to destroy the party. So why would anybody see it? In fact, I have interviewed. You know, I'm from the MPP stock.
Yeah, yes.
There are more people who were happy to see Abonye behind bars that those that I think loves him. A lot of them. Sir, one person, you don't make any sense. Your contribution don't add up to a party. It always takes out. What sort of human being are you? Who bases voting on your insults? Who? Which rational human being will go and vote for your candidate because you are insulting? But I don't blame him.
Okay.
I blame the flag bearer.
Right.
Because after the 31st of January 2026 elections, when the minority members of parliament went to visit Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Afenyo Margins gave us a message. It was there that he told us, all of us, that look, the whole of 2025, the minority did not have any strategy in parliament. And that they didn't have any direction. They were doing anything anyhow. And they are very happy that now they have a flag bearer. And that going forward, the flag bearer will be the one directing the affairs. So all the actions you have seen, be it social commentators or social media users of the MPP, be it their parliamentarians, be it their party members do, is the direct instructions given to them by the flag bearer. The flag bearer believes that when there is chaos, he can thrive. But I want to assure them that, you see, when parties are about collapse, and I've told you that the parties in comatose, if they like, they should go and check the history of the CPP. They are there, and they will be playing relegation matches with the CPP because the United Party will take over from them and make sure that the right thing is done. If you go into their party, a party that really means business, instead of measuring on the most important things that builds a political party, they are rather measuring on minors. Their stronghold of Ashanti region. Can you imagine a region that you claim is your stronghold? They don't even have a party office.
MPP don't have a party
They don't
office.
have the party office that they used to have is now a printing press. The owner is mad. So look, you people have not been paying rent. Meanwhile, every year they are able to mobilize millions of Ghana cedis, go and pay bribes to delegates.
Okay.
That is the kind of situation that faced the party. And so they can continue on that tangent,
right.
But the country is safe. And I'll end by saying that we have improved when it comes to the World Freedom Index, the World Press Freedom Index.
Yes.
Currently, we are lying at the 39th against the position of 60th in 2022, 62nd in 2023, 50th in 2024, 52nd in 2025, and currently 39th. So how can anybody, based on these statistics, come and say that there's tension in this country? I'll end it here.
Thank you so much, Solo. Let me do a few of our messages. When I come back, then Karim will take us.
Give the rest of the time to Karim.
Karim will take us. So this is good evening.
Have to run away.
I'm really enjoying the show. My mentor, Mr. Solomon, also is always on point and speaks with fact. Tell him I'm still waiting to meet him. Eric from Brekum sent in that one. Solo.
Eric, I'll be in Brekum very soon.
Right. This one says, good evening to Pan-African Television. I'm watching you live from Tumu Municipal Hospital. Okay, thank you so much, Prince Aziz Jato, for that message. Dennis Andaban says, good evening, Justice. So far, I have not heard any member of the MPP advising their followers to desist from vulgar and intemperate sensational communication. They seem to endorse irresponsible commentary that can easily throw the country into chaos. In Rwanda, it took a single comment on radio to throw the country into a genocide. In as much as we exercise our freedom of speech under Article 21, we must be responsible not to abuse others, compromise the security of the state, and deliberately turn the country into a chaotic plot. The MPP must keep its members in check. There are so many issues in this country to talk about, but they chose to insult, attack, and engage in pettiness. This is even done by some of their members of parliament. And this one says Solomon also is a goat, which means that he is the greatest of all time in communication. He is the best and the ultimate when it comes to communicating facts. I can't stop listening to him. I've been following him on all social media platforms. God bless Solomon with more wisdom and knowledge. Dr. Boahin watching you live from the UK. Dr. Boahin is watching us.
Oh, thanks for his compliment, Dr. Boahin.
Yes,
when I'm in the UK, I'll come and visit you. I'll look for you and visit you.
Right, Dr. George Boahin, thank you so much for watching us far away in the United Kingdom. He feels that you are the greatest of all time when it comes to communication,
really?
And that you tackle the issues with nothing but facts. I should believe that he is a member of the NDC in the UK, or maybe a member of the United Party. Who knows? Or maybe a member of the NPP. All right, can you take us home?
No, I mean, I believe that my big brother, Solomon Owusu has touched on all of the relevant issues that need to be touched on.
Right.
What I would only add is that the NDC government is focused. There's a lot that's happening in the country that everybody is seeing, whether you are in country or outside the country. The comments of the MPP and the image that the Peace Council is trying to portray of a country that has some tensions within it are precedents that we should not be setting, and I will tell you why. If you read one of the comments that somebody made, he said it was just a comment on radio that turned Rwanda into a country that had to suffer a genocide for several years. Took them many more years to rebuild. Today they have built their country back. We are unfortunately surrounded by countries that have very unstable democracies, and we would not want to be hearing comments that have the tendency to cause mayhem in our country, or comments that is likely to give some of these terrorists out there an opportunity to invade. And so we must be extremely careful some of the things that we say. And so if people are being picked up to come and explain their statements that they make, I don't think it's anybody's attempt to gag or shut people up, but it's just to demand accountability. People must be responsible for the things that they say.
Before you go to the intention is to pick them up,
to be accountable. That's what I'm saying. To be accountable. Yes.
Why
come and be accountable?
Why keep them
come and be accountable?
Why keep them for so many weeks?
You
on top of you slap them with unreasonable bill conditions.
Oh, 100,000 cities and 2 sureties. Or justice, even you can produce. Even you can produce. You can produce 100,000. You can produce 100,000 with 2 sureties.
Sure?
Oh, come on, what are you talking about? Solomon Owusu would just go and so even he alone is qualifies as 10 sureties. You understand? Beyond that, I think one other thing that we must also look at is that as a country that is beginning to take charge of its development fully, one of the things that we're definitely looking forward to is seeing a lot of investors troop into the country. And you heard the EU ambassador when he spoke. He says that this is the right time for investors to come into Ghana and invest. And so if investors out there are looking at a country that has a potential for them to invest in, and you have an entire Peace Council, which is supposed to be a respected institution in the country, come out and release a very blanket statement talking about tensions in the country, don't you think that it has a tendency to drive away investors? And so please, let's I keep saying every day that MPP must understand that Ghana is not their personal property. And so when they are not in power, it doesn't mean that everything should be at a standstill and that it is only them that must enjoy. They are behaving like the child who has a football, and so when he doesn't get selection, it means that the game should not happen. He will take his ball and take it home. No, they must change that attitude. We are building a country together, and we must do politics of principles and politics of conviction, and politics that prioritizes the needs of the country and not necessarily our parochial interests. If indeed Ghanaian people wanted the MPP to be in power, MPP would have still been in power today. It is their arrogance and incompetence that kicked them out of power, and so they should keep quiet and watch how governance is done. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you so much. Now, let me just wrap up. But this one says, please, this is Eric again. Can Solo verify this for me? Is Ifua Gatti, the wife of Joe Gatti, and also the president of GBA. So that's why the GBA is always for the MPP. The person wants that verification.
Yeah, Ifua Gatti is the wife of Joe Gatti, and she is the president of the GBA. Yes.
I'm being prompted, that please host check your sound, because we viewers cannot hear your voice. So the technical guys, if there's anything wrong with the sound, kindly check it. But let me take this last message. This one says, good evening. Dasmani Ayuma, watching you live in Oko. Solomon also started making sense since the day he left the MPP. Solomon is doing a great job for the NDC government.
Hey.
Are you can you imagine?
Tell her you must defect.
Are you saying that when Solomon
can you imagine?
he left the very day you left?
Can you imagine?
Making sense. So in other words, are you saying that when he was with
I wasn't making sense.
Oh.
But I've not changed. I mean, you see, people, when I was in the MBB, Pan Africa, the same thing I was saying. You understand?
That is true. But now I can clearly see that it's also yourself and your communication team members. I mean, yourself, Ebo Bachman,
Apia Dankwa, Ramsey, Efia Kranchua, yes.
You people, you are determined to just collapse the MPP.
No, we are not doing that. We are only trying to shape our body politics.
Why would an opposition party be attacking an opposition party?
We are not attacking opposition party. We want to do honest politics.
Okay.
It happens that they prefer to lie, and if you are lying and we are saying the truth, then it will be like we are at each other's truth.
Right.
But it's about speaking the truth, nothing else.
All right. Thank you so much, also. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much, Karim. I'm so grateful.
Always a pleasure.
You guys didn't really have enough time, but you were able to make it to the show. It tells me how how you think about myself and this platform. I'm so grateful for your time. This is what time we're last at the same time next week. My name is Justice Apia. The show has been the Prime Points. Have a lovely night. Goodbye.